Check, check, check. Microphone check. This is the Blaze the Lion podcast. I am your host, Blaze the Lion. That guy, that dude who's bringing you what you need, what you need. Yes, yes. If you're loving what you see right now, like it, love it, laugh, share. Share with your friends, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a damn friend. All right, about the Blaze the Lion podcast. Also, if you want to be down with the movement, if you want to support, all right, and get in with this movement, man, we are going places. We are touching lives. We're changing the world. Please believe. All right. You can donate. We got 3 tiers, 3 levels, as cheap as $1 a month. All right. And as high as $10 a month. You also get Blaze the Lion podcast shirts. You get apparel. You get access to seminars, webinars, and a lot of events that are coming soon for 2021 and 2022. Yes, indeed. How's everybody tonight? Everybody feeling good? Feeling energized? Ready to talk about sex? Now, listen now. If you got, virginaires around you, if you got young kids and you're not sure how deep we are going to go and you want to kind of safeguard them, then put them to bed, put them away, And if you don't, hey, you do what you do, but I'm just giving you a warning. All right, it won't be vulgar. It won't be super explicit. That's just not what I do. But this month's theme is sex. So the same. All right. So without further delay, because I can talk, I enjoy the camera. And, God gave me a gift to speak. So I don't mind speaking. But I know you guys are really here for my guests. So introducing tonight's guest. She is ready. She looks ready. I can feel the excitement. I can see the passion. She is a business owner, all right, of Mellow Rootz. She is a lactician, plant-based. She's also a vegan cook. I be seeing her throwing down those meals, all right? Yes, indeed. Her products are in stores. All right. She has shampoos. She has beard butter. She has hair oil and many other products that I can't even remember. But she's doing it. She is doing it big. I've seen the growth in this woman. I've seen the change. She is business minded. She's focused. She's walking in her purpose. Yes, indeed. So without giving a long, drawn out, boring introduction, I would like to officially bring on tonight's guest, none other than Mellow Rootz. Welcome to the pod. How are you, Queen?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me here. It's just like you said, it's perfect timing.
Yes. Awesome. So I gave my little introduction about you, but tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, yeah, you touched on a lot of things. I'm Mellow, and I own a hair and skincare company. I'm also a plant-based lactician, which I hold to high regard because I consider myself a naturalist. And also, I'm here tonight because, as you placed the title so lovely, I'm a sexual abuse overcomer. And I'm here tonight to just pretty much encourage people that actually been through sexual abuse, so that you guys know that there's hope and that there's a life for you in the future.
Definitely. I love that. So we're gonna start light, then get heavy, and then maybe end light, depending on the vibe.
Okay.
All right. So let's start light. So as Mellow, owner of Mellow Rootz,
Yeah.
how did you get started? How did that happen?
That's a long story, but I'll try to make it short. I actually started while I was in nursing school. I was doing house calls. I was going from house to house doing hair. And while I was in nursing school, I was going to school to be an oncologist, which are nurses that work with cancer patients. So I started to do my own personal research outside of school to find out why people get cancer in the first place. And I came across, aside from bad diet, I was surprised to see that people can get cancer from using traditional skincare products, that you find, at stores. They have a lot of toxic ingredients in there that causes cancer. So once I learned about that, I wanted to make healthy products. So I ventured into that, and it just took off from there. So that's how Mellow Rootz got started. And I ended up not completing nursing school because it was just, the truth of it was just too much for me. So.
See, many people don't even realize that. I mean, I feel like most people know that food has a lot to do with health issues,
Yeah.
but people don't even take it further than that and realize that it's also skincare products and it's also, what you put in your hair and all of that.
No, it's really deep because when you think about it, you use these products every day. You take a shower, you put on lotion, and your body doesn't have enough time to detox these things. So the toxins just kind of grow in your body for as long as you're alive, until you make that switch.
Yes, yes, wow, definitely. So that transition from, I mean, nursing school to a lactician, fear, risk, hesitation, any
Oh,
of those?
yes, because I come from a Jamaican background. So, as a lot of people know who have a Caribbean background, if you're not a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer or something, it's like, what are you doing with your life? So, yeah, I actually, when I dropped out of nursing school, I kept that a secret for a while until I couldn't anymore. But I was, like I said, I was already doing hair. So, once I stopped, I was just like, okay, let me just focus. Let me get more business oriented. And thankfully, my king helped me a lot. He helped me a lot because he's very business oriented. So I'm thankful for that support there. But yeah, I just took off running. And yes, it's been a long time now. I think I started 2012. I started doing law.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Cool. And if you guys don't know, just in case you don't know, and I'm also a client. So you see these luxurious locks here, right?
But a long way, a long way.
Yes. 4 years and counting, right? And you actually helped me to go vegan. You were a great voice for me because when I first came to you, I hadn't turned vegan yet, and I was still kind of toying, like with the idea of veganism. And I felt when I actually decided to lock my hair, I said, I can't be a fake Ross. No disrespect to any Ross who eat meat or you know what I mean. Just for me, I said, nah, like I can't have the locks and be eating chicken wings and eating pork chops and jerk pork.
Oh no.
I'm like, nah. So just seeing you and you were giving me ideas on different meals and you gave me certain places to go to for vegan pizza and just I was like, you know what? Let me try this. Let me actually do this.
Crazy you brought that up. Wow. Because I remember those conversations. Yeah. And I remember you going full vegan really fast, actually. And I was really surprised because it actually takes a lot of time. It just clicked for you.
It just clicked. Yeah. After about 3 to 4 weeks, I said, man, there's something to this. There's definitely something here that that we weren't taught. This is not anything that they don't usually teach you this stuff in school. Most families don't even know half of this stuff. So
Yeah.
definitely. All right. So how are you a overcomer? What makes Mellow a overcomer? Or what's your definition of an overcomer?
Oh man, I found my happiness. You know, I went through a lot of depression, um, anxiety, isolation. You know, and I I came out of that, and I'm so thankful. And I feel like that's what makes me an overcomer. You know, to be depressed and isolated kind of puts you in a really dark place, and for the most part, you won't even know you're in a dark place. You know, it just becomes normalized. Um, so, but once I've overcame um, once those circumstances, I just felt happy. So I can
Mm,
say.
yeah, we life is full of challenges, right? And we won't know that we're overcomers until we have something to overcome, right? Until our backs are against the walls and we feel uncomfortable and we're dealing with hurt and pain. We don't know, especially as young adults or kids, we don't know how much we can handle. And we don't know that certain things that we saw as kids or certain things that we went through and experienced as kids, a lot of that stays with us. We don't forget it. And if we
Oh no.
don't deal with it, it just gets bigger and bigger. And then it starts showing its head in relationships and how we view ourselves. All this. So, man. So, what were, from, I guess, from a young adult or maybe even childhood, what were your views on intimacy, on sex?
Um, to be honest, I started having sex really um, 12 actually. Not so much active, but I had an experience um, because I was molested as a child. And all I can really say is your mind and your body is just disconnected. It's like this disconnection. You're just going into the act, but there's no feeling. It's almost like you don't even know it's happening because you're young and you're impressionable and you've been taken advantage already from someone you trusted. So it's like it's so much easier to be taken advantage of, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, sex was just a thing. Unfortunately.
Mm. Yeah, man. Wow. Sex has many layers.
Yeah,
Um, main layers, and everybody sees it differently. Everybody's in different phases of their life, and just like I mentioned, man, it's certain things that we go through. To share a little bit about me, just a little bit. As a young kid, I was introduced to pornography at an early age, and though I didn't know it, and though those around me, don't want to call no names or nothing, but though
yeah,
those around me figured just thought it was normal, especially as a young boy.
yeah.
But those images, those views, as a child, you're not able to really process what you're seeing. So it's just like, oh, okay, and this is normal, and folks having threesomes and foursomes is just a normal part of life, and those images stay. They don't disappear.
Hey, I was also introduced to pornography early, after being molested. So that was a lot. And like you said, those images do stay. They don't go anywhere. And I was molested by my father. Let me give you the experience. I was molested by my father when I was 7,
Mm.
and um, when when I found the pornography tapes, I remember coming across a lesbian scene, and I remember looking at it and thinking to myself that this looks this looks right, because I know what I was experiencing when my father was wrong, so it was like the opposite of, I'm thinking, I'm going through something that feels wrong, and I'm seeing something like, wow, this feels better. Um, and I don't have anything against lesbianism or homosexuality, period. I don't I believe in free will, but I know that what I went through, as far as the molestation goes, it made me gravitate towards being attracted to women. Um,
Mm.
uh, I am in a heterosexual relationship now, and I'm very happy. I'm very content. But I'm just explaining that I went through that phase, you know, and I know being molested to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
Oh, no
One.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not easy. As you say that, it's all coming back to me now. Jeez. My first introduction to pornography was actually, I guess you would call it a train.
Mhm.
So it's one woman on the bed
Mhm.
and just a line of like 8 dudes.
Whoa, the big train.
Yeah. And they waited their turn with this one woman with the pearls around her neck with the big hair. And that was the first time. Yeah, I mean, this is in the 80s here, you know. Um, but that was my first time seeing anything like that, and I was like, guess this is normal. I guess this is, this is what we do, and so
Yeah, that
yeah,
really
man.
creates a crazy value that you probably would place on a woman, you know? Like, how much is a woman really worth, you know? Like,
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So with that, would you like to expound a little bit on just that hurt? Was it trust issues? Was it pain? Was it anger? Like what were the emotions?
sure, I'll give you a whole recap of my life. Well, well, it was it was really, like I said, confusing. I didn't know why it was happening, um, and I kept it a secret for a very long time. And when you do that, you kind of just put it in the back of your head, almost like at one point in my life, it was just like my imagination, like it never happened. That was a reality that I was accepting. Um, when I was like, I want to say 12, 11, 12, I started like leaving the house. Well, I started drinking after school, like every day.
Mm,
I didn't know why I was doing it. Like I said, like the experience that I had, I put it in the back of my head. I was drinking, I was staying out late, and I got tired of my mother telling me like what I can and cannot do. So at this point, my father, he moved to New York with his other family, and I was just like, Mom, I want to go live with my dad. I didn't think at all about what happened to me. Like this, I'm telling you, like it was like a complete new reality I had. Like it never happened. You know. So she was like, sure, you need the discipline. Go live with your father. So I'm living with him. He's working a lot, so I hardly see him. And I want to say maybe like a year into living there. Um, like he would ask me for a hug. But I would avoid him as much as I can, even though I was what's the word I'm looking for? I was resentful. I didn't want to be around him. I knew the truth, even though I didn't want to accept it. But whenever he would ask for a hug, I would get very depressed, and the depression started growing, growing, growing. Um, and then one day I decided that I was going to kill myself. You know, like the truth started building up more and more because I'm living under a roof, and I think I was 13. And I tried to kill myself in the bathroom. I tried to drown myself. I didn't go through with it, because as I was underwater, I honestly was thinking about my mother, how hurt she would be if I went through with it. And I remember being so angry that I couldn't kill myself.
Mm.
So I went in my father's room. He was sleeping. I stood over him with a knife, and I wanted to stab him. I had it there. I wanted to do it, but again, I thought about my mother. So shout out to my mother. she, she really saved my life. But after that, I was like, you know what? I want to go. I want to go back home to my. I went back home, and after a while, I came out to my mother. I was 14. I came out to my mother because I skipped school. The school called. She wanted to know where I was. I was with a boy, and I just told her everything. I said, look, I was with a boy. She started like, how parents act when you when you skip school. And she was upset, and I said, look, mom, I'm sexually active, and I know why I am this way, And I told her what happened, and she was in disbelief. She was like, "Are you sure? You sure you weren't dreaming?" And I'm like, "I'm sure." So she called my father. Before she called him, she was like, "Look, I'm gonna call him, but he's gonna go to jail." And I was like, "No, I don't want him to go to jail." So she called, and he lied, of course. Said that my imagination. He doesn't know where I'm getting it from, and she asked me again as if she didn't believe me. Like she was kind of like split in two, like whether she should believe me or not. Um, but I do feel that most of her did believe me, but she was just more in shock. Um, okay. So after that, I just stopped talking to my father. Like before we had this whole pretend back and forth call, how you doing? I just stopped talking to him. Stopped talking to him. And then my mother was like, "Why aren't you talking to your father?" Like, why are you asking me this? Like, come on, duh. And I went through that for years with him, explaining why I'm not talking to him trying to calm me or whatever. And he apologized. He gave me a reason as to why, because I asked him. I don't even want to repeat why. It was just so demented. And I just stopped talking to him. And would you like me to keep going? You want to ask a question?
No, continue.
Okay.
Continue.
So, yes, I avoided him for a long time. Not like I said, he has a whole nother family. So, I have an older sister and a younger sister. Um, and at this point now, I want to say 27, 28. And my little sister's getting married. So I'm excited for her. She invites me to come to the wedding. So I'm like, sure, I wouldn't miss it for the world. I told my mother I was going. She was like, "Are you sure? Because your father's up there." I said, "Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going there to see." So my mom takes it upon herself to call my father to be like, "Look, um, your daughter's coming." And she asked him again if what I said he did was true. and he denied it. You know? So at this point, I'm a grown woman. So to hear that he denied it and came up with this crazy excuse or whatever, it really infuriated me. So I called him after not talking to him for so long. And I said, look, if you don't tell the truth about what happened to me, to my mother, my brother, your wife, your kids, everyone, I'm going to do it for you. You know, and I'm giving you less than 24 hours. I hung up the phone. And so he decides he's going to do it. You know, and it was really emotional. Like my mother, I feel like my mother finally believed me wholeheartedly this time, which that kind of made me feel uncomfortable too. You know, her always questioning me throughout the years, um, and throughout all of this, I found out that he sexually abused my older sister, and that really upset me because her mother decided to stay with me. And if you guys are watching, uh, I just want you guys to be encouraged because what I'm saying is helping. It's going to help a lot of people. So, you know, I was really upset about that. I had to curse out her mom because that's just horrible. You know, I know there are women and men, you know, who have gone through sexual abuse with their parents' knowledge, and you know, no one stood up for them. You know, I can't imagine anything more hurtful. So that whole thing happened. So I called my little sister, and everyone's begging me, don't tell her, please, because they still see her as a baby. But I have to give her a reason as to why I'm not coming to her wedding, you know. So I decided to tell her, and I said, look, oh, my older sister has a young daughter. Um, so I'm speaking to my little sister now. I said, look, tell your niece, ask your niece if anything has happened to her because I'm telling you, like he was denying the whole time that he ever left me. So, you know, I feel like if someone has really changed, they wouldn't deny this fact and they would come out and they would even apologize even more, you know. And I didn't get anything from that from him. So I said, you know, talk to her and just ask her questions, you know. So you know, the whole time my stepmother's upset with me. I believe my older sister was upset with me. You know, they're telling me, you know, God has healed them and you know, they worked everything out in church and I need to find God, like something's wrong with me, you know? And I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. Whatever. This man is lying, you know. So obviously he hasn't found God, you know, so I don't know what you guys are talking about. So some time passes, I wanna say about maybe 3 months, 4 months, and I get a phone call from my little sister and she told me that her niece came to her and told her that she was being abused. So this is supposed to be his granddaughter. You know what I mean? So she was hurting herself. She was seeing a therapist. They couldn't find out what was wrong with her. Um, Turns out that that's what was happening. You know, and so I guess I'm saying this to say, if there is an abuser in your family and you're staying quiet about it, it can happen to someone else. Like these abusers, they do not change. I don't care what they say, how they act, they won't. They won't change. So, um, police was called and he's in prison now. So that's.
Mm.
But I was very upset that to know that happened to her because I've held her as a baby, um, you know. So when I got the call, like my knees buckled, like I fell. I was doing hair and everything, you know, and I had to stop. And it really hurt me because I felt like he should have been in jail a long time ago.
Yeah.
yeah, and that she would have been okay. So yeah, I was very upset. I started lashing out on my mother. I started blaming her. Um, Anybody that stayed quiet, knew anything about it, I was very, very upset. So one thing that helped me overcome, for sure, I would say, was coming out. Um, just facing my abuser, um, and really just speaking about what happened to me. Like, I speak about it a lot. I speak about it to my clients. I speak about it to anyone. Like, if I feel like I need to talk about it. So speaking about it really helps. Just and bringing everything out into the open. So if you've been abused, sexually or even physically, whatever kind of a situation that you're in that is abusive to you and your mental health, you need to speak out about it. You need to blow that shit up. And if you don't, it will eat you alive from the inside out. You will be depressed. You will isolate yourself, and trust issues definitely come about, because if someone you love and trust is abusing you, telling you, like, you're not gonna be able to trust anyone else. Probably not even yourself. You know. So yeah.
Wow, man, I had to hold back tears on my end.
Yeah, me too, me too. But you see me smile. I have this big smile, because I mean, I can do this now. I can talk about it to the public. So like I said, it takes talking about it and really, like I said, confronting your abuse. You have to blow that shit up. Can't keep it a secret. I think that's honestly, for me, that was the first step towards him. That part.
Mm, wow. Whew. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. So many people, yeah, have gone through trauma, have gone through childhood trauma, and they figure that, that saying, time heals all wounds. But if you don't deal with it, it's still there.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna get bigger and bigger, that wound. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Wow. So I would imagine, um, with those experiences, um, that had an effect on your relationship.
Yes, it's yes. When I met my king, um, let me just tell you, just
Yes, King. Yes, King.
he's just perfect and still is perfect. Like, he's such a good man. Like, when I met him, such a good man. I just was just like, is this real? Because after going through what I've gone through, and then of course you meet the knuckleheads that don't treat you right. It's just you begin to not trust, and then you meet this amazing person, and then it's like you have to open yourself to trust them. You have to learn how to be vulnerable, and that was really hard. That was so we went through a lot of my trust issues. um but he's definitely showed improve. And you know what? When I confronted my abuser, he he stood up for me. He like cussed him out. It was so nice to see someone standing up for me, because I no one stood up for me. You know. But yeah, trust issues definitely play a part in relationships. Yeah.
Yeah. I have learned over the years, especially recently, um, I try. Keyword is try to not get offended because I know so many of us are still carrying baggage. So many of us are still carrying unhealed wounds. And what we do many times is we lash out on the people close to us,
Yeah.
people who, who are always around us, people who are really trying to help, but
Yeah.
maybe just don't know exactly how to help. Um, so we all have a story. We are all facing, and just like Mello said, man, address it. It's even if your anxiety is this high, it's taking over. Um, it is worth it because you could be saving others. You
Yeah.
know what Mello is doing here tonight, sharing her story, which takes guts, which takes boldness, and you have to be secure. Be secure with yourself, self-love. You have to be secure as well, like in your relationships. So just for that, Mello, I truly applaud you, Queen, because it's not easy. It's not easy. But as you said too, we are not here for us. We are here to help others.
Oh
To
yeah. I'm here for you guys. Trust me, because I'm a little shy, but I know this is bigger than me. I know there are other people that have gone through what I've gone through and still haven't healed. So I'm here for you.
yes, yes. So consider this a confirmation.
Yes.
Start that healing process. It may be a long journey. It may take time, but it'll be even longer if you never deal with it. So start that process. Make that phone call or that text, or if it's therapy, whatever you feel led to do, or whatever direction. But do something, man. Start that healing process. It's through that healing process that we're able to find our purpose and to be able to effectively walk in our purpose. And also, during that healing process, helping others. You know, you're going through it, you are struggling, but there are so many people that sometimes inside you're battling and you don't even want to go to work and you don't want to continue, but you putting on that smile and you giving somebody else the encouraging words. That stuff spreads, man. That stuff is contagious. And you helping this person, that person helps the next person, and it spreads and it builds. So there's power in that healing. Definitely, definitely. So we're gonna go a little bit light now, so we can breathe a little bit. Um, if anybody is thinking about growing locks or starting that process, um, any advice, any of your expertise for them?
Oh, well, yes. Well, first you have to be ready. I see a lot of people come to me and they ask me about the lock extensions. Do I do lock extensions? No, I don't do lock extensions. Sorry. Nothing against it, really, but I just feel like it takes away from the spiritual journey of having locks. It's like when you're seeing your hair locked, it's going through that phase where it's not fully locked yet, and that's where I feel like your self-confidence starts to really build, and as it's locking, it's just like you just become more and more confident in like who you are as a whole, so that's the best way I can explain it. So I don't do lock extension because I believe it takes away from the spiritual journey of having lock. So just be ready to go through that phase where your hair isn't mature and locked. Um, that's that's the best advice I could. But also, if anyone has any questions about everything I spoke about, coming out or um, maybe relationship issues you might be having because of being abused, I can answer any of the questions.
Yeah, yeah. I have a feeling you're gonna, if you don't get them here live in this chat, I have a feeling you're gonna be getting some DMs.
Oh, please DM me. I love connecting with people and I love helping other people to heal. I really do. Um,
Yeah. I feel if you were to ask people, I don't know what the actual stat is, but um, it could even be one out of every two people. I don't
yeah,
know. But so many people are, even around that whole topic about sex, so many people have skewed views on sex. And
yeah,
again, it affects how they are in their relationships. It affects even men because
yeah,
sorry guys. I'm not here to bash my fellas, right? Because I can't talk. I am nobody to judge. But men were taught that when it comes to sex, that you start early and you just try to have as much fun as you can, and you put down your game and you try and get the girl as fast as you can. And the more women that you've been with, the cooler you are, or the more of a man you are. And we're just taught all these things. Um, and it's not until you get older that it's like, I done been in entanglements and soul ties and all sorts of things, thinking that was the definition of being a man, or you know what I'm saying, like being mature, being cool. And again, a lot of that stems from childhood.
yeah. And you don't know like who you're hurting. How many women you're hurting doing that. Because we grow up. You know, that's a
Yeah,
good there. That's a really
yeah,
good.
definitely. So we've reached the portion of the show where we're going to talk about colors. Colors,
Okay.
colors, colors. All right. So for this segment, I don't have a theme song yet for this segment, but soon come, soon come. So for this part, I will say a color, and you're just going to respond with whatever word or phrase or even short story that comes to mind. It can be super logical or it can be super spiritual. There is no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you feel at the moment.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. First color, yellow.
We're gonna say a lot. Well, it may seem predictable, but I do think of the sun. I not only the sun, I think of trees and the sky, and just the way everything looks when you look up. Just that whole picture. Yeah.
Mm, okay, okay. Color number two, gray.
Gray. Um, I think of depression, sadness, um, just being dull. I don't have any gray clothes in my.
Hmm.
I don't like the color gray.
Hmm.
It's like it's not even a color to me. It's like black.
I have so much gray clothes.
Why?
I didn't even think about it like that. I don't know. Huh.
I don't like gray. I don't.
Hmm. Okay.
Silver. I like silver.
Okay. Silver.
Silver. I think of spirituality. I think of divinity, intuition, magic.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Moving on. Next color. How about red?
Red. Courage and passion. So, fire, personality,
Mm.
rage, um, depth.
Okay.
Red is my favorite color.
Hey.
I love red. Love red.
Red in the house. Okay. Let's go with right behind you. Green.
Green. Oh. Of course, I think of plants, trees, herbs, aloe, um,
Mm.
healing, tranquility. I think of meditation. I think of growth, abundance, health. I don't know if I said health already. Um, and that's about it. Love the color green too. Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
I find it interesting that many spiritual people, especially those who meditate and they are naming colors already in the chat. Um, when you bring up green, a lot of them will say love. Um, but it just depends on who you ask because some will say red is associated with the love. So it wasn't until I began to meditate
Mhm.
and learn my chakras
Yeah.
that I realized that green is also abundance and love. So that's my
Green is
observation.
yeah.
All right, let's do three more colors. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Fuchsia.
Fuchsia. Wow. You threw me off with that one. You didn't say pink. Fuchsia. I think of just a bubbly, someone who's bubbly. I don't know why I'm thinking of an individual. Um, I think of friendship, um, love, um, hugs. There's gonna be a lot of loving energy from this color. Um, happiness, um, and confidence.
Okay. Hmm. Okay. They have one in the chats. I'll use that one. How about turquoise?
Turquoise. I love turquoise. Think of peace. Um, think of the ocean. Um, pearls. Don't ask me why. Um, silver. No, that's another off one. So I'm just telling you what I think about. Um, and I think of Pisces. So I'm a Pisces, and that's my stone. One of my stone
Okay. Okay.
types.
Um, I don't know, Sue. Last time that I said that color, it turned
Yeah.
into a whole thing. So, all right. So I know I said only three, and I've already named two. So we really have one more color, but I might give you two because I've been using these colors lately. So
Okay.
let's say mauve.
Mauve. I don't like that color.
No.
Um, um, yeah, it's it's just no personality like coming from that color to me. I mean, I like all colors. Well, you know, like
Well, not
most
gray.
of gray reminds me of gray. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No
Yeah.
mauve, no gray. You're
Yeah.
gonna really have me going in my closet and
Oh,
looking at my gray like, do I need this?
yeah. I mean, I like, you know what? I used to wear black all the time. I guess I was going through a lot. You know, I wouldn't wear any colors, but I find that wearing colors is kind of like, it just kind of lifts my spirit, you know. And so because gray is like not a color, it's not a color technically. It's a fragment. Yeah, black, white, gray. They're called fragments. They're not colors. But yeah, they don't. The gray doesn't do anything for me. Yeah.
Huh? Okay. Final color, black.
Black. Also deep. Black. I think of power, um, sex appeal,
Hmm.
uh, intensity, mystery,
Okay.
magic. Like so.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. I like mauve for nails. They're saying that in the chat. Hmm. I like that. So many people have. Do I have to do that color, guys? We do it.
Well,
Can I just? I do the same color every podcast. I can't just not do that color tonight. All right, fine, fine, fine. So, final color again. Purple, purple. They won't allow me to not say purple tonight. So, purple.
well, let me just say, I love people that love purple. Purple is not one of my favorite colors, but I find that people that love purple are just really like they're like extroverts. They're out there. You know, I always call them crazy. I'm like, oh, okay, you like purple, you're a crazy person. You know. I think for me, purple represents like royalty, someone that's just very outstanding, um, someone who communicates, who loves to communicate, um, intelligent. That's all I can think of right now. Yeah. You like purple?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. Purple is my favorite color was always red,
Okay.
and it still is red. But since the pandemic, since COVID, I've gotten into purple a lot. So now purple is kind of like the new red for me. So every podcast, they make sure that I say purple. So
Yeah. I'm telling you, a lot of crazies out there. My daughter loves purple. That's her favorite color. She
yeah.
her mind. I love her.
In the chat, is anybody's favorite color purple? Matter of fact, put your favorite color in the chat. Put your favorite color in the chat and what that color means to you. All right. Don't write a whole summary or a whole paragraph because we ain't gonna read all that. All right. So just put your favorite color in the chat and it may be like one or two words what that color means to you. Shout out to everybody watching this live on the Blaze Lion podcast page on jeez, the Blaze Lion podcast page on Facebook and the Blaze Lion podcast channel on YouTube. Right now in the chat, they're saying blue, they're saying red,
Okay.
purple,
Yeah.
peach.
Oh yeah, I like peach. Peach is the
Red for passion. Yeah. Yeah, red is awesome. My son's favorite color is red.
Oh
Uh
really?
just like his daddy. But now he's I guess because his favorite superhero is Captain America.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like red and blue. and he kind of wants daddy to also like blue, and I'm like, no, I'm still sticking with red. Mine is sky blue. Sky blue. I had a dream about sky blue.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
What was it about?
Yeah,
Remember?
I do remember actually. Um, I haven't really told people about this. So this dream I had a couple days ago was that my clients,
Hmm.
three of my clients, that they bought me a sky blue Mustang.
What? Hey, that's a nice dream.
They bought me a sky blue Mustang, and the Mustang had 9,000 miles on it. And it was nice and clean, and it was sky blue, and it was parked in a garage. And they said, here, just for all your hard work, like we appreciate you.
Wow.
So, and it's funny because after having that dream,
Mhm.
I've been seeing sky blue Mustangs. I never even knew Mustang came in sky blue.
Listen, I don't know if it sounds too girly, but I got my toes done yesterday, and they're sky blue. I've never ever sky blue on my toes before ever in my life, so that's weird. But go on.
Yeah, there's something about sky blue, especially this week. There's some sort of power right now that sky blue has. So if you see sky blue, um, say your affirmations, manifest whatever is on your mind. Um, take that risk, talk about it. You know what I mean? There's something about sky blue right now that I've just been seeing like crazy. Did you see 9,000 lane? No, I didn't see 9,000, but I'll take it. If you're offering, I'll, I'll take the 9 grand. Um, so I don't want this podcast to go left. So I want to show me the money for real. So I want to again applaud you and just salute you, Mellow, again for your strength, for your courage, for your eagerness to share your personal stories, um, all to help others, to elevate. Excuse me, to elevate others. With that said, in closing, is there a quote? Is there a short story? Is there just anything that you would like to leave the audience with?
Yes. Um, I would just like to say it's important for you all to speak the truth, whatever that may be. It doesn't have to necessarily be abuse, but if that is your story, please, please, um, speak the truth. Whatever it is, also that you want to do in life. I know it sounds cliche, but just please believe you can and just take that step forward because years go by, they do. And if you start moving now, you have no idea where you'll be 5 years from now. But I guarantee if you move forward, you're going to be way much further in life than you are right now. Okay, so I guess I would say that time goes by. So just make the best decision with your time for you.
Yes, definitely, definitely. How can they reach you? How can they get in touch with you if they have any questions? If they want to share some personal stories with you, if they're interested in starting a lock journey, anything
Mhm.
like that, how can they reach you?
Sure. Please visit my Instagram at Mellow Root, and that's with a Z, not an S. And you can DM me also if you guys are interested in purchasing products. Just for attending this podcast, I will send you guys a discount code. So you know you guys can get the jug. Really appreciate you guys being here, and I really hope that I helped you guys out. Also, if you want to start your locks, just set a consultation so that we can have an intimate one-on-one on the lock journey that you're looking to start. Um, I like to do that first. I don't just jump into starting your lock. Like I want to know what you want out of your lock journey. so I can help.
Mm, I like that. I like that. And you all heard that. All right. If you mention this podcast, she'll give you that discount code. All
Yes.
right. So there are perks
So
in watching this podcast. It's not just to look at me and my beard and watch me wear red and
yes,
interview random guests, but there are
yes.
definitely perks. Everybody is saying thank you. Thank you for your beautiful words. Thank you for your lights. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Queen, for sharing. They love you. They love your product. See? So if you'd like to reach out to Mellow, you can hit her up on Instagram at Mellow Rootz, and that's Roots with a Z. All right. She is definitely a queen spreading light. She is a queen elevating other queens. Salute to your king as well,
Yes,
because it's easier in life when there's a team,
it's true.
right? You can be as strong as ever, but having that team, having that person to have your back, to be understanding as you heal, as you grow, is definitely necessary and important. So I want to salute your king as well for holding you down and setting a good example for other kings and queens out here.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
touching on, I also like to say, don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to open your heart, no matter what it is you've gone through. Because if I didn't make that decision to be vulnerable, open up my heart, and just like, let me just trust this person, despite of everything that I've been through, I really wouldn't be where I'm at right now. Open up your heart, no matter what you've been.
Mm. You heard that? Open up your heart. Yes, Giselle, agree. There are good men out there.
They are. They're out there. Yep.
They are out there. They are out there. And there are also great women out there as well.
Yes.
So even though you've been hurt, not everybody's bad. Not everybody's out to harm you. Not everybody is an opportunist. All right. There are people who will be genuine with you, who will be real with you, who will love. So walk with guidance, walk with discernment, right? And just monitor your circle, your support system. Exactly. All right. Hang around those who want to see you shine, who celebrate your victories, no matter how small or how big. Right. That's important. Together, we make a difference. Together, we change the world. Not solo, together. So
Right.
your partner, your family, your circle, we're doing this together.
Right.
Yes. Straight like that. Mellow, again, thank you. This is the Blaze the Lion podcast. Like, subscribe, share. Tomorrow, the audio will be available on all streaming platforms, your Spotify's, your Google Podcasts, your Apple Podcasts, and all of that. Again, if you'd like to support the podcast, you can go to anchor.fm/Blaze the Lion/support. And thank you. Thank you for everybody listening, for everybody subscribing. Thank you for your comments, for your interaction, for this is teamwork, and this would not be possible without all of you. So thank everybody for listening. Thank you again, Mellow, for being an amazing guest. Let's give it up for Mellow.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I'm glad I'm
Yes, yes, yes. And with that said, yeah, peace and love. Live your life, let your light shine, and you are worth it. This was the Blaze the Lion podcast. Peace, y'all.
here.